Imagine having 100 real cops hunting you down. Your only goal is to stay hidden, keep moving, and survive the challenge without getting caught. That's exactly what MrBeast has created in his latest video.
Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to this explainer where we're breaking down the absolute mechanics of modern digital entertainment. Today, we're looking at a true masterclass in taking a simple, nostalgic childhood game and transforming it into a massive, high-stakes cinematic event. We're doing a full commentary on this 100-cop challenge, and we're going to analyze exactly how a basic challenge evolves into something so incredibly intense. We'll be breaking down the pacing, the insane scale, and the storytelling that literally makes it impossible to click away. Section 1. The Ultimate Manhunt. Scaling up hide and seek.
So the foundational concept here is beautifully simple, but honestly, it's incredibly gripping. You've got real police officers actively searching, and the main objective is just to avoid getting caught while successfully completing challenges under a strict time limit. Think about the massive contrast here. Normally, your typical YouTube hide-and-seek means super low stakes, simple rules, and maybe a few friends running around a mall or an empty stadium. But this manhunt formula, it completely flips the script. By injecting a ticking clock, mandatory challenge completions, and an overwhelming opposition force, it's no longer just a game. It becomes a full-blown survival scenario.
And that brings us to the absolutely crucial point here, the number 100. Having exactly 100 real police officers involved in this hunt fundamentally changes the entire atmosphere. These aren't just paid actors running around in costumes. These are trained professionals whose literal day job is tracking people down. The sheer scale of deploying 100 real cops makes this feel infinitely bigger and honestly way more intense than your typical chase challenge. The visual impact of seeing that many officers coordinating and searching adds this crazy layer of authenticity and sheer intimidation that you just cannot fake.
Section 2. The Mechanics of Suspense, Pacing and Pressure.
A massive concept is absolutely nothing without the right pacing. If you just threw 100 cops into a field, it would get boring pretty fast, right? The true success here lies in how the suspense is managed across the entire timeline. Let's move to Denasi and see how this builds. Right from minute 1, the stakes are established immediately, but it's in the middle, around hour 2 and beyond, where the brilliance really shines through changing situations. The environment and the parameters constantly shift, and as we enter that final hour, the constant time pressure squeezes the tension even tighter. These changing situations completely prevent viewer fatigue, ensuring that the momentum literally never drops.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core engine driving the entire explainer today. If he gets caught, the game is over. No response, guys. No second chances. That looming threat of an instant game over is present in every single frame. It means that whether he's quietly hiding in a corner or fully sprinting down a street, the tension remains sky high, because a single tiny mistake ends this massive production right then and there.
Section 3. Action movie production value. Cinematic execution. So we've established the concept and the pacing, but how do you visually represent that on screen to elevate it to the level of a Hollywood thriller? We are talking about highly dynamic camera work that puts you right in the middle of the chase. We're seeing varied filming locations that keep the visual palette fresh and totally unpredictable. The constant police searches give the whole thing this incredibly authentic, high-octane action movie feel. It's not just a stationary vlog camera on a tripod, it's a multi-angle, heavily produced visual feast that makes you actually feel the adrenaline pumping. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the team focuses on way more than just a giant cash prize or basic shock value. They actively create a story around the challenge itself, keeping the feeling of danger alive at all times. This is an absolute masterstroke in audience retention. When you actually care about the story of the escape, rather than just the money waiting at the end, you become emotionally invested in every single close call.
Section 4. The MrBeast Formula, Pushing the Limits of Scale. If you follow this space, you know that massive scale challenges have firmly become the signature style here. The formula basically works in 3 steps. Step 1, you establish a massive scale challenge, like say 100 real cops. Step 2, you solidify it as your signature style so audiences expect absolutely nothing less. But step 3 is where the inherent challenge or weakness really lies. You have to find a way to make the scale even bigger next time. It's a literal arms race of production value. The strength is that every new drop is a must-watch event. The weakness is the immense, almost unsustainable pressure to constantly top those previous mind-blowing productions.
So why do we watch until the very end? It comes down to exactly what entertains us as an audience. You have this perfect blend of high-speed chases, heart-pounding suspense, nostalgic but highly elevated hide-and-seek mechanics, and of course a massive production scale. when you combine all these elements into one cohesive package and creates an entertainment loop that is incredibly difficult to break away from. It's exactly what keeps us hooked from minute 1 all the way to the final seconds.
Section 5. Final verdict, the final score. After breaking down the mechanics, the pacing, the cinematic execution, and the sheer, undeniable scale of having 100 real officers on the hunt, I am giving this a very solid 8.5 out of 10. The execution of the manhunt concept is just brilliant. The pacing keeps the tension alive, and the production value is completely off the charts. If you're a fan of chases, suspense, high-stakes hide-and-seek challenges, and massively ambitious productions, this is definitively worth your time.
But now I want to know, if 100 real cops were hunting you, where would you hide? Seriously, get down in the comments right now and tell me your ultimate survival strategy. I want to read the most creative, absolute genius hiding spots you can possibly think of. Drop those strategies below, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.